Hello, it's Jen Wood here, and welcome to another Wellbeing Wednesday. And I'd like to talk some more today about kindness and about the benefits of kindness and about the difference between kindness and stress and how it impacts our body differently. And often when we think about what the opposite to stress is, we might say things like relaxation or peace or calm. And I experience kindness as being really so important because one of the really rich and important things about kindness is it's about how we treat ourselves. It's about how we respond to ourselves when we're feeling stressed. So, for example, many people who I see as clients, when they feel stressed or anxious, they can really kind of notice their inner critic part popping up and starting to give themselves a hard time about not being able to cope well enough about a certain situation, or just getting into a loop, fearing stress, fearing anxiety. And when we can learn to meet our difficult feelings like stress, like anxiety, and treat ourselves kindly, we can start to activate that soothe system that starts to really balance out the threat system, the stress response. So we can then turn up the volume of our relaxation response, and we can turn down the volume of our threat, our stress response. When we're stressed, we have stress hormones get released, adrenaline, cortisol. And when we soothe ourselves and when we're kind to ourselves, we release oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is a brilliant chemical to release in our bodies. And we have spoken about smiling in one of our previous sessions, and that is a great way to release oxytocin. And for anyone who hasn't seen that session, one way to quickly release oxytocin is to pretend to smile or pretend to laugh. And it's quite hard to pretend to smile until you put something in between your teeth like this. And then you're giving yourself a toothy grin without even needing to do anything. And that's really helpful because when we grin, it sends a message to the inside as well as the outside. And, sometimes when we smile, we kind of light up other people's lives. Well, when we smile, we light up our own life. And we send a message to the brain. The muscles in the face send a message to the brain that we're happy. And the brain releases our happy hormones, our oxytocin. There are lots of other ways of releasing oxytocin, and being kind to ourselves is a really good way of doing this. I know I've spoken before about the hand over the heart or the chest or the gut, or even giving yourself a hug. These are also really good ways to release oxytocin. They're also really good ways to be kind to ourselves. Being kind to ourselves might be doing something really nice for ourselves, or it might be not doing something. It might be not doing something that is hard work or stressful or is going to put pressure on us. And I don't mean like indulging ourselves. That's not helpful. That's more like avoidance. Trust yourself to know the difference between being kind to yourself and avoiding, procrastinating. And if we can start just to turn towards ourselves when we're struggling, when we're feeling stressed, and just look at ourselves with kindness. You're looking in the bathroom mirror, you've brushed your teeth, you're just looking at yourself with kindness. What could you say to yourself that would be kind? Sometimes people find it really hard to talk to themselves, so imagine that you're talking to your best friend. It might be something like, you are enough. You're doing okay. Test it out, see if it feels good. If it feels good, do it again. If it doesn't feel good, do something else. So some of the things about kindness, it reduces our blood pressure. It really it's cardioprotective. It really helps our cardiovascular system. It's really good for our heart. It makes us happy. It makes other people happy. It boosts our immune system. That stuff's great at the moment. It really relaxes our nervous system. It switches on our parasympathetic response, which we also call our relaxation response. It reduces inflammation in the body. That helps us feel better. And it can really be a good antidote for depression. And when we think about stress and what stress does, stress increases our blood pressure. Stress can damage our cardiovascular system. It can be not so good for our heart. It can make other people unhappy when we're stressed. You know how stress can ripple out. It suppresses our immune system. It tenses the nervous system, increases inflammation, and it can trigger depression and anxiety. So just coming back to kindness, if we can be kind to ourselves, if we can fill our kind of kindness battery, if we can plug ourselves in and charge ourselves up by being kind to ourselves, or self-care is so good for us. What's not to like? So I wonder how you could be kind to yourself today. I'd love to hear. So thank you very much for watching and listening with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week for another Wellbeing Wednesday.